Before Allah changes your life, He begins with a work so deep that only you can feel it. He does not rush the outcome, and He does not explain the delay. He quietly reshapes your heart. If doors feel closed, if answers feel slow, if everything seems still while your soul feels restless, understand this clearly. Allah has not turned away from you. He is preparing you for something that requires a different heart. What feels like waiting is actually becoming, and what feels like silence is Allah rewriting your destiny from the inside out. Allah changes direction by changing desire. When Allah plans to move your life to a better place, He does not force you to walk away from what is wrong for you. He changes what your heart is attracted to. Slowly, quietly, without announcements. Things that once excited, you begin to feel heavy. Goals you chased with passion start feeling empty. People, habits, or paths that once felt important no longer bring peace. This is not confusion, and it is not weakness. This is Allah protecting you by changing your desire. Many times we think something is good for us only because our heart is attached to it. But Allah sees what that attachment would do to your future. So before it harms you, He removes its sweetness from your heart. You do not lose it because you failed. You lose interest because Allah is guiding you away with mercy. When desire fades, distance becomes easy. What once felt impossible to leave suddenly feels natural to walk away from. This inner shift is one of the greatest signs that Allah is working on you. Your heart is being trained to choose peace over excitement, purpose over impulse, and long-term good over temporary comfort. You are not becoming less motivated. You are becoming more aligned. Allah is teaching your heart to want what will not break you later. Without even realizing it, your heart begins to make a powerful dua. Rabbana la tuzi kulubana bada, idha daitana. Our Lord, do not let our hearts deviate after you have guided us. Allah answers this dua in a beautiful way. He does not always remove the thing itself immediately. Instead, He removes your craving for it. And when desire is gone, temptation loses its strength. This is how Allah saves you before you fall. This is how He redirects your life without pain. What leaves your heart was never meant to stay in your future. Allah breaks attachments before He builds reliance. When Allah wants your heart to become strong, He first shows it what it should never depend on. Many of us think we rely on Allah, but deep inside, our hearts are tied to people, promises, outcomes, or timelines. We feel safe because someone is there, because something is expected, because a result seems close. Allah sees this hidden attachment, and because He loves you, He does not let your heart stay dependent on what can disappear. So Allah begins to loosen those ties, sometimes through disappointment, sometimes through distance, sometimes through silence that hurts more than words. What you leaned on starts to feel unstable. What reassured you no longer gives peace. This is not Allah being harsh. This is Allah teaching your heart a lesson it will never forget. Anything other than Him can fail you. Attachment feels like love, but love that replaces trust in Allah becomes a weakness. When a person, plan, or hope takes the place of Allah in your heart, it controls your emotions. Your happiness rises and falls based on them. Allah does not want your heart to live in fear of loss. So He removes the illusion of security before it breaks you completely. In those moments, the heart feels exposed, lonely, unprotected, and that is exactly where real reliance begins. When nothing else holds you, your heart learns to hold on to Allah. You start turning to Him not as a last option, but as your first. Your dua becomes quieter, more honest, more dependent. You stop saying, Ya Allah, fix this for me, and start saying, Ya Allah, I trust you with me. That is when the heart begins to understand the meaning of true reliance. Not that everything will go the way you want, but that Allah will carry you no matter what happens. The heart starts repeating a simple but powerful truth. Hasbiyallahu la ilaha illa huwa. Allah is enough for me. There is no God but Him. When reliance is built, fear weakens. Loss no longer destroys you. Even if people leave or plans fall apart, your heart stays standing. Allah breaks attachments not to hurt you, but to free you. Because a heart that relies on Allah alone becomes unshakable, and only that kind of heart is ready for the life Allah plans to give. Allah trains the heart to wait without breaking. When Allah wants to prepare your heart for something meaningful, He teaches it how to wait. Not the easy kind of waiting where signs are clear and hope feels close, but the difficult waiting where nothing seems to move and silence becomes heavy. This is where many hearts break, but Allah is teaching yours how not to. He is not testing your patience to exhaust you. He is training your heart to stay alive even when answers are delayed. At first, waiting feels frustrating. You keep asking yourself why it is taking so long, what you did wrong, or whether Allah has forgotten you. But Allah has not forgotten. He is watching how your heart behaves in stillness. Does it turn bitter, or does it turn back to Him? Does it complain, or does it trust? This waiting is not empty time. It is time filled with quiet growth. Allah allows delay, so your heart learns how to hope without control. You learn to make dua without demanding a deadline. You learn to trust even when there is no sign of relief. This is how faith becomes deep, not emotional. Anyone can believe when things are moving. Allah builds believers who remain connected even when nothing changes. During this season, your heart learns to speak to Allah differently. Your dua becomes softer, more honest. You stop asking only for outcomes and start asking for strength. The heart begins to repeat words that hold it together. Rabbana Afrig, Alaina Sabran. Our Lord, pour patience upon us. This is not a request to remove the weight. It is a request to survive it with faith intact. Waiting also removes entitlement from the heart. You stop thinking you deserve things on your schedule. You begin to accept that Allah's wisdom is larger than your understanding. This acceptance brings a strange kind of peace. The situation may still be the same, but your heart is no longer fighting Allah over it. When Allah trains the heart to wait without breaking, He is preparing it for stability. The life you are asking for will have its own tests. If your heart collapses under delay now, it would collapse under responsibility later. So Allah strengthens you quietly, through waiting, until your heart learns to stand firm no matter how long the road feels. One day, when the answer finally arrives, you will realize something beautiful. The waiting did not weaken you, it refined you. And the heart that waited without breaking will carry Allah's gift with gratitude, patience, and trust. Allah empties the heart before He fills the hands. Before Allah places something new in your hands, He looks at what is filling your heart. A heart that is crowded cannot receive. When pride lives there, blessings turn into arrogance. When urgency lives there, blessings turn into pressure. When comparison lives there, blessings turn into dissatisfaction. So Allah, in His mercy, begins by emptying the heart. This emptying does not happen suddenly. It happens through moments that humble you. Plans fall apart. Control slips away. You realize how little power you truly have. This can feel uncomfortable, even painful, because the heart does not like being stripped of what it thought made it strong. But Allah knows that what fills the heart decides how blessings are used. Allah removes the belief that you can manage everything on your own. He removes the idea that you deserve things exactly when you want them. He removes the habit of measuring your life against others. As these things leave, the heart feels lighter, quieter, more aware of its need for Allah. This emptiness is not loss, it is preparation. When the heart is emptied, it begins to lean properly. You stop trusting your plans more than Allah's plan. You stop relying on your effort more than Allah's permission. The heart starts to whisper a sincere plea. Allahumma la takilni, ila nafsi tarfata ain. O Allah, do not leave me to myself, even for a blink of an eye. This is the language of a heart that knows it cannot carry blessings alone. Only after this humility settles, does Allah begin to fill the hands, and when He does, the blessings feel different. They do not make you loud, they make you grateful. They do not make you careless. They make you careful, because the heart has learned that everything it holds can only remain by Allah's will. Allah empties the heart so that when He gives, the gift does not become a test that destroys you. Instead, it becomes a trust that elevates you. What comes into your hands after the heart is emptied carries peace, balance, and barakah. Allah aligns the heart with His timing. One of the deepest changes Allah makes is not in your situation, but in how your heart understands time. At first, the heart measures everything by urgency. It wants answers now, relief now, change now. When things do not happen quickly, the heart feels punished, ignored, or forgotten. Allah sees this struggle, and instead of speeding up the outcome, He slows down the heart. Allah teaches the heart that delay is not denial. He shows you, through repeated waiting, that His timing is never random. Situations remain still while your understanding grows. You begin to realize that if something arrived earlier, it would have harmed you, distracted you, or pulled you away from Allah. This realization does not come overnight. It settles slowly, after many moments of surrender. As alignment begins, anxiety reduces, even though nothing outside has changed. The heart stops fighting the clock. You stop counting days and comparing your journey to others. You start trusting that Allah is placing things exactly where they belong in your story. This is when peace enters without explanation. The heart learns to say with sincerity, Qadar Allah wa ma sha'a fa'al. Allah has decreed, and He does what He wills. These words are not spoken with defeat, but with trust. The heart no longer feels late or behind. It feels held. When the heart aligns with Allah's timing, impatience loses its power. You stop rushing blessings that would arrive unsafe. You stop forcing doors that would close painfully. You allow Allah to lead the pace, knowing that He sees what you cannot see. This alignment is a gift. A heart that trusts Allah's timing remains calm during delay and grateful during ease. And when the moment finally arrives, it does not shock the heart. It fits perfectly because the heart has already arrived there in trust long before the blessing appeared. Allah strengthens the heart to survive ease. Many people think Allah delays blessings because they are weak in hardship, but often the real reason is that the heart is not yet strong enough for ease. Trials expose pain, but ease exposes truth. When comfort arrives, when love feels secure, when success opens doors, an unprepared heart can drift away from Allah without even noticing. Allah knows this, so before He gives ease, He strengthens the heart. Allah trains the heart through difficulty, so it learns humility before it tastes comfort. He teaches you how fragile everything is, how quickly things can change, and how dependent you truly are on Him. This knowledge stays with the heart, so when ease comes later, it does not create arrogance or forgetfulness. It creates gratitude. Sometimes Allah withholds what you want because it would distract you from who you need to remain close to. The heart may say it can handle it, but Allah sees the future. He knows whether success would make you forget dua, whether love would make you rely less on Him, whether comfort would weaken your connection to prayer. So He delays, not to deprive you, but to protect your iman. During this strengthening, the heart learns to ask differently, not just for blessings, but for blessings that do not harm faith. The heart begins to make a careful dua. Allahumma inni azaluka khairaha wa khaira ma fiha. O Allah, grant me its good and the good within it. This is the dua of someone who understands that not every gift is safe at every time. When Allah finally brings ease, the heart is ready. Blessings do not make you careless. They make you mindful. They do not make you distant. They bring you closer. Because the heart has been trained to remember Allah, even when life becomes comfortable. Allah strengthens the heart to survive ease, because ease lasts longer than hardship. A heart that can stay connected to Allah during comfort is a heart that can carry lasting blessings. Allah changes your response before changing your reality. One of the clearest signs that Allah is changing you is not that your situation improves, but that your response to it changes. The same delay, the same problem, the same uncertainty remains, yet it no longer controls your heart the way it once did. What used to cause panic now brings patience. What used to create anger now brings reflection. This shift is not accidental. It is Allah working quietly inside you. At first, the heart reacts to everything. It questions, complains, and fears. But over time, Allah softens the reaction. You begin to pause before responding. You begin to remember Allah before reacting. This is a powerful transformation because it means your heart is no longer ruled by circumstances. It is guided by trust. When Allah changes your response, He is removing the power that the situation once had over you. The problem no longer defines your mood, your faith, or your sense of security. Even if the situation does not move, your heart stands firm. This is strength that cannot be seen from the outside. The heart reaches a point where it can say sincerely, Allahumma radini bi qadaika. O Allah, make me pleased with your decree. This is not resignation. It is acceptance with faith. The heart understands that Allah's wisdom is greater than its limited view. Once the response is corrected, the reality no longer needs to stay the same, because the lesson has been learned. Many times, change outside only comes after peace settles inside. When the heart is no longer shaken, Allah moves what needs to be moved. By changing your response first, Allah ensures that when your reality finally changes, it does not overwhelm you. The heart is already steady, and a steady heart can handle any outcome Allah chooses to send. When the heart is right, Allah moves life effortlessly. When the heart becomes aligned with Allah, life no longer feels heavy or forced. This does not mean there are no challenges, but it means you stop struggling against Allah's plan. The constant inner resistance fades. You are no longer pushing doors that were never meant to open, and you are no longer chasing what is not written for you. The heart settles, and with that calm, life begins to move in a different way. Decisions become clearer because the heart is no longer clouded by fear or desperation. You know when to move and when to wait. You know when to speak and when to remain silent. This clarity is not intelligence or experience alone. It is guidance. When the heart is right, Allah places light in it, and that light shows the next step without confusion. What once required struggle now comes with ease. Opportunities appear without you forcing them. Help arrives from places you did not expect. Even delays feel lighter because the heart trusts where Allah is leading it. This is not luck, and it is not coincidence. It is the result of alignment between the heart and Allah's will. At this stage, the heart often makes one of the most sincere du'as it can make. Allahumma ya muqallibal qulub, thabit qalbi ala dinik. O turner of hearts, keep my heart firm upon your religion. This is the dua of someone who understands that the greatest blessing is not what happens outside, but who they remain inside. When Allah moves life effortlessly, it is because the heart is no longer resisting Him. You walk with tawakkul instead of anxiety. You accept outcomes without losing peace. And whatever Allah gives you fits your life perfectly, because your heart has already been shaped to carry it. This is the moment when people look at your life and think things just worked out, but only you know the unseen work Allah did inside your heart first. If Allah is changing your heart, do not rush the process. Hearts are not reshaped for small endings. They are reshaped for destinies that must last. What feels slow right now is not delay, it is precision. Allah is removing what would weaken you, teaching you what would protect you, and aligning you with what will not break you later. One day, you will look back and realize that the hardest moments were not meant to stop you, but to steady you. The waiting strengthened you. The losses freed you. The silence taught you how to hear Allah more clearly. Nothing was wasted, nothing was random. So trust the work Allah is doing inside you, even when you cannot explain it to anyone else. Because when Allah finishes shaping the heart, the life that follows will not just change suddenly, it will change correctly. And what Allah writes correctly, no one can undo.